What makes a good party? That makes a Dr. Pepper. In order to have a swinging party, a proper host provides each of his or her guests with 1 can of Dr. Pepper and 2 Thin Mints. If you have 3 cans of Dr. Pepper and only 14 Thin Mints, how many people, including yourself, can you have at the party?
Only 3, because there's 3 Dr. Peppers and that's limiting reactant.
You have an excess amount of Thin Mints.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
So in order to find the limiting reactant, you must first begin by balancing the equation. Make sure each element is represented equally on both the product and reaction side. Next, you must choose any reactant to start with and find the yield of any chosen product. In this problem, we will be using copper as a reactant and silver as a product. As you can see, the 12.65 grams of copper ends up yielding 42.99 grams of silver. After finding how much silver is produced by the first reactant, you would then take the other remaining reactant or reactants and calculate the amount of silver they produce as well. In this case, the other reactant is the 33.21 grams of silver nitrate. Upon solving the problem, you see that it yields 21.09 grams of silver, which is less than the 42.99 grams of silver that copper yields. Silver nitrate's lesser yield makes it the limiting reactant, meaning that once the reaction is complete, you will end with no excess silver nitrate and only 21.09 grams of silver. Now that silver nitrate has been identified as the limiting reactant, you must now calculate the amount of copper 2 nitrate it yields as well. Again, solving the equation shows that the 33.21 grams of silver nitrate yields 18.33 grams of copper 2 nitrate. According to the law of conservation of mass, the addition of your products should equal the addition of your reactants. Therefore, subtracting the mass of your limiting reactant from the mass of the combined product should give you the excess amount of the other reactant. In this case, it's copper. As you can see, after subtracting the 39.42 grams from the 45.86 grams, you get 6.44 grams of copper, as shown here. After finding this, you found all necessary components in the problem.
Percent yield. To find the percent yield, we use the formula actual yield over theoretical yield times 100. The actual yield in this problem is 20 grams of silver. The theoretical yield is the maximum value obtained from stoichiometry. In this case, the theoretical yield is 21.09 grams of silver. You then plug these numbers into the formula and find that the percent yield is 94.83%.